Welcome to Kusa Cast, where we interview some of the most influential people in tourism from around the world. My name is Graeme Watson, and I'm the founder of Kusa Global. The word Kusa means a new dawn, and in 2023, we want to find out just how our guests are working towards that new dawn. Join us and subscribe to future episodes as we hope to inspire you with stories of strength and resilience in the tourism industry. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Kusa Cast. Graeme Watson here, and today I'm interviewing Alexis Cronin, who is the founder and owner of Dunia Designs. Welcome to the program, Alexis.
Thank you very much, Graeme.
Yeah,
Happy
thanks.
to be here.
Great. So just tell the listeners, the way we usually start is just to tell the listeners just about yourself, your background, and then we can get into the nitty-gritty of exactly what it is Dunia Designs does.
Sure. So just to point out, I'm co-founder. My wife, Evanna, and I started Dunia 2015-16, where it was a bit of a, how would I say it, an upcycling concept, where we were taking unused or unwanted plastic bottles and turning them into upcycled furniture items.
Great.
So that was back in 2015. Over then the course of the first 3-4 years, developing alongside partners more processed recycling. So creating kind of poly planks and what we now call greenwood, 100% recycled plastic plank.
Okay.
So when that started, we I guess we saw some usage for it, primarily decking, flooring, outdoor flooring. It has its properties, obviously weather resistant, termite resistant, and it'll last a lifetime. So these were all the I suppose the negatives of plastic waste became our positives as a product. And then once we started to produce these planks, we started looking at what else they could be used for. And then, over the course of the second half of Dunia, I guess we started turning our hand to more sophisticated furnishing. Where we were welding the product and creating more intricate shapes and designs that were, I suppose, not necessarily out in the market or available. There hasn't been too many people doing what we've been doing now for the last couple of years. So, there was a lot of, I would say, early trial and error. And so, fast forward a couple of more years, and we've been supplying businesses, B2B, B2C as well, with focus on, obviously, because we're in Tanzania, there's a focus towards the tourism markets, the hospitality markets, and that's where we've been kind of spearheading our business plan.
No, sounds like it's going great. So why Tanzania? How long have you lived there?
Tanzania was because I'm an architect who came to Tanzania around 12 years ago. Not with any purpose towards recycling plastic. That came later. And Evanna and I met here, and Dunia was born, so to speak.
Right.
So it was a chance meeting, and Dunia, as a result, was born. Yeah.
Great. So I can imagine they're quite talking points when the tourists do come through. So, I mean, are they sort of branded? Would people know that they are looking at a Dunia product when they are at the lodges?
I think it's becoming more and more evident. I think the often when we have clients coming into our shop in Arusha, it takes them a while before they recognize that it's made from recycled plastic, which was always, that was always one of our aims, that there is recycled plastic furniture and has been around the world for a number of years, primarily in the kind of landscaping markets, so park benches and the like. And so when we saw that, we were like, well, maybe we could add an element of design to it and make it a more, I don't want to say attractive, but possibly a more attractive product.
Yeah.
And so I think, at the beginning, people don't necessarily understand that it's recycled plastic. They don't see it until they really start to look at it and see the because it's hard to imagine until you've sat in it and touched it. And
yeah. So I mean, the misconception would be that furniture and decking is sort of less luxurious. So how do you kind of balance sustainability with like the high end expectations of the tourists that come through to some lodges in Tanzania?
I think through design we have chosen rather sophisticated products for different markets. When you think of a mid-century modern armchair or dining chair, and you see what we've made as a replica of a mid-century modern dining chair. It takes quite a while to kind of wrap your head around the fact that this is all made from recycled plastic, an unwanted eyesore, so to speak. And so we're trying to make that trash aspect look attractive and a product that people want.
Great. So we all, obviously we know that plastic is all over the place when it shouldn't be, but how do you gather it all into one place? How do you get all the raw materials together?
So we have a number of systems. So we offer lodges, hotels, schools, offices the opportunity to donate their plastic. So, for instance, the tourism industry is now really pushing towards taking ownership, I think, of their usage of plastic, and they collect from their lodges or camps and they bring it to us. That's one kind of feed of our raw material. The other inputs or throughputs come through purchasing from local collectors, who are primarily extracting from the municipality dumps within Arusha. It's kind of purchased plastic from third parties and donated plastic direct from basically our clients.
Interesting. So then how does the process work? I mean, just quickly in layman's term, how do you get a whole bunch of plastic bottles, for example, and make that into a chair?
So the first thing that happens is collection. So you collect the plastic. The second thing, and I'm obviously going to skip over a lot of the
sure,
detail, but we don't have enough time. But it's collected. It's separated. Knowing your plastics and knowing what you can and can't use for your end product is vital. And so separating out the different types of plastics that are being donated or collected or purchased, shredding, breaking them down into a feed, which then feeds into a large machine, which basically heats and compresses the plastic into a plank, like a plank of timber, like a 4x2 or a 4x1.5 thickness, and then it's extruded using the same machine to form a 2 meter poly plank, and which we now call greenwood.
Mm.
And so from the greenwood, then it gets taken to the workshops, and then the workshops are primarily using traditional woodworking machinery and techniques to then create the desired product or the required product.
Oh, that sounds fascinating. So, do you say you've got a shop in Arusha? Is it places that a tourist can visit to have a look and see some of the process?
Yeah, 100%. So in the shop we have aspects of it just being a shop, and so people can come in and purchase. But there's also displays that kind of show the process. Obviously, the shop is just the shop. The wizardry or the magic happens offsite. But we're very open and what's the word I would use? Very happy always to give the story and tell and show where we can, if it's via videos or promotional kind of footage explaining how it all works. So people are very welcome to the shop to understand more as to how they can be a part of it, or understand what it is they're purchasing and how it's come to light.
Sure. And then are you just in Tanzania or the regional, or what's your reach in terms of where people could, if a lodge in Uganda is listening, for example?
So it's a horse and cart scenario. Yeah. What I mean by that is we've supplied regionally within East Africa. We've supplied people mainly B2C, but we've supplied into Europe. We supply into Kenya. The dream would be, or the vision would be, to not have that carbon footprint and not have to ship something around.
Shipping's kind of it kind of defeats the object in a way, doesn't it? Yeah.
In a way, it's kind of it doesn't help the situation. But obviously, the vision is that we would replicate the business in neighboring countries or expand into Europe, and that takes time. It also, you want to put the product out there in order to generate the interest and the demand. So the exporting of product is in a way, it's a kind of a temporary step before expanding and being able to replicate the model elsewhere.
So, anybody listening today, how do they get in touch? The website address and email and all that?
Yeah, so it's www.duniadesigns.co.tz or .org. Dunia means earth in Swahili, that's where it all started. info@duniadesigns.co.tz will find us. We're more than happy to discuss projects, products, and everything else.
Yeah, for sure. And how are you finding it in terms of, I think there's been a lot of focus on ecotourism, responsible tourism, certainly in the last, 5 to 10 years, and especially in the last few years since COVID. People are wanting to look at their carbon footprint. Are you finding it? Are you needing to convince properties, or are they kind of coming to you to say, "Look, we need this"?
Yeah, I think that certainly the last couple of years are they're highlighting the fact that tourism does have an impact on the environment, and more and more of the tourism industry is taking ownership of that. I think they're realizing that there's a need or an obligation actually that we need to do something. And so there recently, I would say in the last 3 years, there's been more of of them coming to us rather than us going to them.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yep.
And yeah, it's that obligation, I think, is becoming more and more evident, and that's where kind of Dunia steps in and offers, to be able to assist the tourism or hotel industries, or their commitment, we can help their commitment towards environmental and social impacts.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win for both parties.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, I mean, definitely it's yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's not no longer needed to convince people that they need to do these things. So in terms of how
Exactly.
how far you can go, I mean, could we get an entire kind of villa or chalet and with all the furniture inside made of this, or is that not possible at this stage?
No, it's entirely possible. We've been very lucky with certain clients who have, really trusted us and pushed for us to sustainably supply an entire unit, like a chalet.
Yeah.
I think as a designer, I think there's always a balance. You need to create a balance between a 100% recycled plastic product and the comfort levels or the balance of the aesthetic, because ultimately their client has to be able to want to
stay there. Yeah.
Stay there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So often I think what we try and do is we would supply product, but also we would try and balance it with the correct aesthetic for that client. So it's sourcing locally. It's looking at local communities to see what's available on the ground rather than importing from outside of Tanzania. So
yeah,
there's quite a holistic kind of approach to the, let's call it, the interior design aspect of Dunia, whereby we encourage locally sourced, locally supplied, community-driven projects that can assist and complement Dunia's products that we're selling into properties, or that we're proposing to our clients.
For sure. No, I mean, that's the way to go. I mean, it's mixing, as you say, like Dunia's from the earth, so, mixing materials gathered from the earth as well as man-made, such as plastics. It sounds ideal. So how durable are the products? I mean, obviously people say they take, hundreds of thousands of years to kind of decompose. So if you make a chair or a bed or something, how long will it last?
They're pretty durable. There's so far so good. There's no evidence to suggest that it's going to change, or that's not the fact. We've all heard the stats on the plastic bag or the plastic bottle. If you leave it in the environment, it'll be there in 1,000 or 10,000 years. And so that's been true to date. Some of the first decks that we installed in 2016 are still there, and they're still very much as they were when they first went in. So it's the proof of concept has come and gone, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. It's all working as it should. Yeah,
it's all working as it should. 100%.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I mean, Alexis, great. I mean, I can't wait to go to the website now and check it out. I'm sure many of the listeners will do the same, because it sounds like a fascinating product. As I said, I will be out in East Africa in November, so I'm hoping maybe even I can pop into the store and see.
Karibu sana.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. So, Alexis Cronin, thank you for joining us on Kusa Cast today. And
thank you.
And we thank you for doing all the work that you are doing to help with the sustainable tourism drive and keep everybody on their toes in terms of what needs to be done to look after this one and only planet that we have.
Fantastic. Thank you, Graeme. I appreciate the call today.
No problem. All right. Cheers, Alexis. Bye.
All the best. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning into Kusa Cast, where we explore the world of tourism with leaders from all corners of the globe. Join me, Graeme Watson, for future episodes as we dive into the latest trends and insights from the industry. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a rating, and we'll see you next time on Kusa Cast.